Let's introduce our expert panel. Joining us from Politico, senior editor from Politico, David Mark. Also with us from townhall.com, national political reporter for townhall.com, Amanda Carpenter. Cenk Uyghur's with us, host of the Young Turks on XM Satellite Radio. It's a liberal radio show. And communications consultant T.J. Walker kind of filling us in on who performed better. All right, excuse me, Cenk. Obviously, you are against McCain-Palin, but don't you think she performed well? She did what she had to do. Are you in that camp?
It depends on your definition. We were expecting a 0, and we got a 1.5 out of 10. So I guess that's better than what we were expecting. But look, that hokey stuff, I can't stand it. Does anyone really believe that? Oh, you betcha. I mean, it seems so fake. It's like the fake cowboy that George Bush is. Now we got another poser here trying to connect with the American people. Please, I don't need you to be a hockey mom or a plumber. I need you to be the vice president.
Well, Cenk,
you got to know your material.
No, I hear you on that. And for people like you, I mean, you're not going to give her the benefit of the doubt anyway. She's talking to working-class voters in Pennsylvania and Ohio. Don't you think so, Amanda?
Some people like it.
Yeah, here's the thing. When Sarah Palin talks like that, I don't think it's an act by any means. I got to tell you, when she came out with that soccer mom story from the gate, I was a little bit worried we're going to hear about stories from the soccer sides and hockey rinks the rest of the night. But that was the only time she really did it, and I thought it was very effective.
TJ made the point, if Biden's talking taxes, the way he handled it, maybe not so good for the Obama-Biden ticket. Agree or disagree?
I got to disagree with that completely. Joe Biden had to set the record straight. The fact is, Sarah Palin, as John McCain has done many times before, lied about it, saying that they would voted to raise taxes 94 times. It's ridiculous. And in fact, the reality is, I don't like Barack Obama's tax cuts. I think they're too deep. But the reality is, under $250,000, Barack Obama is giving everybody a tax cut. When McCain and Palin talk about raising taxes, they're only talking about it for the super rich, people above $250,000, etc. So if they want to protect that class of people, have at it, Hoss. I don't think it's going to do them any good.
Okay, let's stay on the economy, then we'll try and get some calls in. This is a point where Joe Biden is basically blasting deregulation. Let's give this a listen.
The economic policies of the last 8 years have been the worst economic policies we've ever had. This excessive deregulation, the failure to oversee what was going on, letting Wall Street run wild.
Okay, the CNN Truth Squad checked this one out and found that Joe Biden actually, he blasted deregulation, but also voted for deregulation. Cenk, sounds like point for Palin there to me.
Well, it depends on how you're counting. If you're saying if this is purely about Joe Biden, that's right. You got to call what's right. Joe Biden did vote for that, and he was wrong. But the reality is, the Republicans pushed for deregulation. They had 8 years. They pushed it all the way. And if you ask them now, they admit it. They're like, yeah, we're the guys in favor of deregulation. Well, you're the guys who screwed it up entirely, and we need a difference. And the man at the top of the ticket, Barack Obama, is the guy who's going to bring that.
Well, let's get back to the matter at hand. That Biden, he was misleading us there with that. So
no, he wasn't. He wasn't.
It
he didn't say I voted the other way.
Like
he just represented the ticket.
Okay, John Avalon, let's get you in on this. John, you with us?
Yeah, sure am.
You're a registered independent. We're talking about where either candidate misled us. The way we have scored it here, it's 1-1 so far. Were you misled at all? Have you done a fact check? What are you seeing, John?
Well, there were so many back-and-forth accusations, and it's made worse by all the spinmeisters on either side yelling talking points at everybody. The American people don't know what's true. I think Sarah Palin lost a lot of opportunities, though, to correct the record because it required her going off script. And Joe Biden was accurate in a lot of things which they've tried to call him out for. Look, both sides can stretch the truth. In the heat of debate, things get sloppy. But these folks yelling talking points at each other on either side don't clarify things, and they aren't supposed to. They're supposed to confuse the American people, and that's why the Americans and independents are getting so frustrated at politics as usual.
Everybody's trying to pretend that this debate was a tie. This whole idea, this myth of neutrality. Look, it wasn't a tie. They did a poll, CNN. He won by 15 points. CBS did a poll of undecideds. He crushed 46-21 by a 2-to-1 margin. Why are you all pretending this was a tie when it wasn't? wasn't a tie.
Well, wasn't a tie.
Clearly won the debate.
It wasn't a tie. Biden did win on points, but Palin won something bigger. She won the right not to be considered a laughingstock. She was this close away from being in the Dan Quayle zone of being an object of ridicule. She was this close from having millions of people sort of demand that she was off the ticket.
Amanda, go ahead and have the last word. We've got to get to break.
Exceeded expectations
I'd like to offer something. The fact that we're talking all about Sarah Palin's performance proves that Joe Biden was incapable of putting her away. That means he didn't win. It's still a draw.
I may not answer the questions the way that either the moderator or you want to hear, but I'm going to talk straight to the American people and let them know my track record.
All right, Cenk, there it is real quick. She came on, Washington outsider, Sarah Palin. Come on, that plays well for some people. Washington's not very popular right now.
I think that's comical. That's the exact
opposite. It played for Sharon. She's going
talk.
McCain-Palin now.
No, wait a minute. That's the exact opposite of straight talk. She just said, I won't answer the questions. Then why'd you come to the debate if you're not going to answer the questions? And when she did, she was dead wrong so many times. She got her own campaign position wrong on bankruptcy judges. She got that our commander in Afghanistan strategy wrong. She got his name wrong. And then she flat out lied at times. Look at ABC News just broke a story. She said, oh, I tried to get divestment from Sudan for our administration in Alaska. In fact, she fought against that divestment. She's outclassed. She doesn't even know what Hamas is. She doesn't know what, if she reads any newspapers, she doesn't know any Supreme Court cases.
Do you think she was outclassed?
This is an embarrassment.
No. Look, that quote's significant because it was a tell. Sarah Palin told the American people her strategy in this debate, which was to ignore the moderator's questions and go back to her talking points, which she was very effective at doing. It's an old Reagan strategy in some ways. It may not be honest, but it is effective. And she was very effective to many people.
And look at the camera. I'm talking to you, the American people. I don't care what Washington elite or Joe Biden or Gwen Ifill have to say. I'm talking to you. I thought that was effective.